All right, I want to talk about a guy who is being described as deluded, silly, woke, smooth talking vegan,
Yeah.
and a dark moment for British democracy. And of course, well, maybe you don't know, of course, I am talking about the London Assembly member and new head of the Green Party of England.
Hmm.
Now, this is Zach Polanski. Zach Polanski just won the new leadership role in a huge, overwhelming vote. He won 20,000 votes. His challenger won 3,700
Hmm.
votes,
Hmm.
right? And he said that he wants to make the Green Party a bold party, quote unquote, and quote, absolutely clear about what we stand for and against. He said that 30 seats is the goal for the next general election.
How many do they have now?
I don't know.
I'll look that up.
I wasn't ready for that particular question because what I want to talk about, what he does have, is he has now over 140,000 new members since he became party leader in September.
Hmm.
He said that we've had to book new meeting rooms because we're usually at like 50 people showing up to our meetings, and now we're hundreds of people that are showing up there. He polling not as dramatic as that. Usually the Greens are about 10, 11, 12%. Right now they're up to 15%. But folks are saying he's doing really well so far. The 2 days after he became leader, Polanski went out and did how many media interviews? Just in
10.
2 days.
10.
61.
Ooh.
61 media interviews, and he has not slowed down. A senior party figure told the Guardian newspaper, quote, it's like he's never been off the TV since he was elected. He's gone out and absolutely hammered our message across.
They have 4 seats currently.
Currently have 4 seats. But they are on track. Let's see here. There was other reporting. They are on track to overtake the Conservative Party in terms of membership, and they're already past the Liberal Democratic Party
Hmm.
in terms of membership. Now, will that, translate into voters? I
Right.
mean, the Guardian points out that under the Labour Party, they had a peak of over 500,000 voters under Jeremy Corbyn, but Jeremy lost both elections that he stood in for prime minister and for the party to have the majority in Parliament. For folks who don't know British politics, there you don't vote for a candidate, you vote for a party, and then whoever is the head of that party becomes the prime minister. Really interesting how that works compared to what we do.
Well, don't you think this is? I mean, I feel like we're seeing this all over. People are understanding that the sort of corporate Democrat, maintain the status quo, play the middle of the court, all that nonsense is while the planet is dying now and not able to sustain life at some point in the future, that people are saying, oh, we better get on a horse with a little more horsepower than that because the slow mule isn't getting us anywhere. And that's, whether it's socialism that's seeing a resurgence or, green environmental politics that's seeing a resurgence. I think a lot of people are getting out of the middle saying
Yeah.
we're going to die if we stay here. So let's get on one side of the boat or the other.
Well, and I think that, well, yeah, we'll see what the membership numbers do. Right now they're skyrocketing. And could it could go up this time next year, it could be double, right? What
But,
they're at
but we're
right
seeing
now.
it with Mom Donnie and other people,
Speaking of
right? Sort of the same
Mamdani,
thing.
over the weekend in early voting in New York City, they got more votes.
They, the city.
The city got more votes in the first 2 days of early voting than they did of all the early voting in the 2021 New York general election for mayor. That is how much he has been out there with his team getting the vote out, and it is absolutely stunning. He actually got more votes in the primary than all of the candidates in the 2021 primary. That's the level of organizing
Yeah.
that Mamdani's campaign is doing. It's not just him. He has an absolutely stunning
Right.
campaign operation. It's not about, yes, the videos and the social media it's so fun, and it's fun to watch those, and he's very authentic and relatable in them. But it's their ground game, their operation. Who are they talking to? Who are they driving to the polls? How they're getting more people to register. I mean, for him to get more votes in the primary than all of the votes cast in 2021. And now, in the first 2 days of early voting in New York, they've gotten more early votes than they did of all the early votes in the 2021 general election.
But this is what scares the Democrats, the Ken Martins of the world that just want to keep doing it the same way. They've been delivering ice cubes since, 1941. And this tells me we can win a lot of places if you do it the right way. If you message right, if you get the ground game on top of it, we can turn a lot of things into ice cream, so to speak.
Well, I don't understand that metaphor,
Well,
but we were just talking to Representative Christian Phelps last Thursday, and if you haven't checked out that interview, please do. He is absolutely phenomenal, and I hope and would probably argue the face of the Democratic, or not the face of the Democratic Party, but the face of the next generation of the Democratic Party in the state of Wisconsin. I could absolutely see this kid.
Right.
Not kid, he's only a few years younger than me. I could absolutely see him running for governor one day. He is winning. He won last year a swing district. He is out. He is a Democratic socialist, unapologetically so. I mean, just wrote an op-ed about how, yes, he's not running away from that label. Even though people want to say it's the boogeyman. And he won a swing district in the swingiest of states in the country, Wisconsin. So, 50% of his district are MAGA voters, and he's winning. And he's going in there and he's talking to them, and he's talking about economic issues, and he's saying we are creating a vision that is beyond just what the center-right economics of the Democratic Party are doing. But if we can fly back over real quick across the pond, the former conservative prime minister, Liz Truss, Truss, just had an interview with Politico, EU, the European Union version of Politico. And she said that she thinks right now, based off of the way things are going, that the Green Party might end up being the official opposition party after the next election, meaning they are the ones with the second most votes in Parliament when the election is over. And it was a really interesting quote that she said. She goes, I think there's a certain kind of honesty about the Green Party that you don't see in the Labour Party. And she went on to say that she feels that voters are over the, quote, technocratic managerial crap, end quote, in politics. Now, of course, she is a conservative, and so she may be just taking her opportunity to get her digs in against Labour. She had the shortest prime ministership in all of UK history. I think that's where we got the salad, the head of lettuce. Will she last? The head of lettuce, which she did not do. So there's that. But she's also said that she's not joining Reform UK. That is their MAGA party, the Reform UK movement over there in the United Kingdom. And she says we need to learn from what the Americans did, which we've collectively lost our GD minds.
Yep.
And so she's saying we should not do that. And so far, she hasn't joined Reform UK. But she herself had a pretty optimistic view of the Greens. She said Polanski might end up leader of the opposition at this rate, end quote. So I find it very, very exciting. And when you look at his policies, he's unapologetically pro taxing the rich. He said, absolutely, we're doing this. And he is for legalization of drugs as opposed to stigmatizing them and having them just come over in the boatloads, or what we get coming over from abroad as well. So he's got some, obviously, the Green Party. He has a lot of climate change legislation and media ideas that he is doing. But I also appreciate that he is getting out into the media. And I think that's where the Democratic Party in the US has failed miserably
Mhm.
is we didn't buy newspapers across rural America. We gave up on the radio stations. I mean, the
Oh,
stations that you're listening to right now, AM 950 and WCPT, we are almost the only ones left in terms of
well,
independent progressive radio. We allowed conservatives to buy up all of the radio stations, and they own all of the major, own the majority of TV stations now in the country as well. And so it's just, they have complete control of major media right now. And to have someone like Zach Polanski in the UK, to have someone like Zoran Mamdani here in the United States who have said, we need to get back into the media game. We need to take it to them. We need to take the fight to them. There are audiences for this. YouTube.com/@thegailey show. That that is something that is very, very important right now. Take the microphone back from them. And I think the thing that gets Trump the most actually about Mamdani is that Mamdani does media better than Trump does.
oh, much better. Yeah, but Trump is also like a cheap hood, done what the mafia does, which is they extort or they exert influence. They threaten a lawsuit, and what's her name, who owned the company that owns CBS? What a pathetic thing she is of her father. So that destroys CBS's credibility. And Bob Iger, who never should have come back from retirement, destroyed whatever credibility existed for ABC. and then he deliberately attacked public television. I'm talking about Trump. And so some of it's a frontal attack, some of it's I'm going to sue you, and you're going to have to be quiet. You're going to have to not tell the truth anymore. It's been rather masterful, really, how badly we've done.
Well, yeah, and so I think that's what's impressive about Zach Polanski in the UK is that he overwhelmingly won his election to be party leader by over 80%, but to quadruple or whatever the number is membership in the Greens in the space of 2 months.
Yeah.
2 or 3 months here is absolutely remarkable, and also just very encouraging that we have a gay leader who's running something and who understands media and who, and I don't think that's, we try here, the gays trying to do the media. And so it's just very enheartening to see folks embracing a gay leader right now when we have a global retreat against LGBTQ rights and seeing LGBTQ people as liabilities and not core to the success of your party.